Hello, welcome to a look at a do-it-yourself kit, a Harley Benton. Um, it looks pretty good here on the camera, but my paintwork is not that great. The body has some flaws, but I like the color overall, and it looks pretty damn nice. So the finish is not what I'm gonna be discussing here today, or how to do the finish, just what I feel when I have assembled this Harley Benton kit here, and what I have, to say about it. So let's first dive into something that I want to do here. I want to do a display capture for you guys. So I'm gonna do that if I can find it, which I cannot. There we go. And let you see that. Here you go. You can see everything here. Let me turn down the volume. So on the left side we have the kit that I'm gonna be reviewing. It hasn't got a great start, and I can kind of understand it. The Harley Benton bass guitar kit MB style, and this is obviously the counterpart. I've assembled the left one, I've owned the right one, so I can kind of do a similar comparison, even though it's been like years between, many years, but still, I have a good fond memory of the one on the right. So maybe to get it out of the way, as you can see, this number here are pretty similar to that one. So if you want to save money, do not get the kit. You don't really save any money, and you can get the pre-assembled with some higher quality control for the same amount of money. Like this, it's a ridiculous small difference, but I get it. This kit doesn't sell as much, and this sells in a higher volume, so they can push the price down on the pre-assembly one. That's the way. But so yeah. And the most important thing to point out is that in my video I did assembling this. Let me go to this one, and let me do that. So in the video I mentioned that I had trouble, the pickups are wired, it comes in two wires. They are black and red wires, and then you have like a red connector both. And I was like, it might be difficult to know which goes to which volume pot, because they haven't any distinguishing colors or something like that. Then I read the manual. Obviously you should always read the manual first. So apparently one of these, I think it's this one, the middle one has a shorter length cable, so you know that this cable goes to this one, and this one I think it has a longer cable, so that's why you know which cable goes to which of these volume pots, because the middle here controls the back poles, and the front here is the front poles, and the closest to the jack here is a tone knob, and that's obviously nothing that you have to connect yourself. So this is going to be more reviewing, what I encountered building it, and I'm not going to go in depth how to build it. That's the other long boring video. But overall it looks pretty good, but let's go back first to display capture. There is one thing I really want to highlight. So the main thing I got the DIY kit here is because, well, first off, it's fun to build your base, right? It's something I haven't really done ever. And the second thing is I wanted to mod this. I wanted to put in, instead of the tone control, I want to put in a series and parallel mode to hear the difference. And I think, hey, that's fun. I've had this bass but pre-made. It sounded badass. Why not get the kit and do that? And it's nice to mix your basses up. I do not have my jazz bass. I sold this to get this. That's the way it is. I love my jazz bass, but I was just really curious because series parallel, there's one thing I want to test it is because I have a future bass that I would like to maybe one day get to try and solder up. But yeah, so going back here, that's one of the reasons I got the do-it-yourself kit here. And the other reason is that According to Toman here on the left, the nut width it is 38 millimeter, and I prefer that. I could prefer even smaller neck width. And I've had this one, and the nut width is 42, and it has like a D-shape kind of neck thing. It's beefy neck. It sounds amazing. You know, the Harley Benton MB4 sounds amazing, but the neck, a bit a chunky boy. So I was thinking, cool, this left one has also a smaller one, so why not get this one? I get a smaller neck. I'm gonna do a mod, fine. Why not try to build it yourself? That is not correct. The nut width is at least 42 millimeters. I haven't like precision measured, but it's at least 42 millimeter nut width. This is wrong. This is absolutely wrong. It definitely saddens me because I really wanted a Yas base neck, and it's in between. It's the same width or maybe 1 millimeter wider than the MB4. It has a little bit more of a C-shaped neck, but yeah, let me turn off display capture here. Yeah, that's unfortunate because I really wanted, you know, the slimmer neck. It is more of a C-shape neck. It's not as, I don't think it is as thick as the MB4, but it is definitely at least the same width at the nut here and the profile going to the pickups. That sucks. That's misinformation. And the problem is, you know, I didn't try to pick up the neck and start playing, you know, the first thing I did, because then I would have noticed it, right? You know, assembly, you just look at the neck, look, it's nice, it's finished, it's all right. And then as soon as I put like the first like strings on, and I'm just, wait, I gotta measure this. This is not feeling right. And yes, 42, 43 millimeters at least on this nut width. Really, really sad. So that's one thing that you need to know. It is, going back to the base here, it is definitely very front heavy. So the MB4, that's kind of is a chunky boy all over, a little bit on the heavier side definitely, but kind of balanced. This body here seems quite light, and the neck is pretty heavy. Overall, making this base, I think, might be a little bit lighter than the MB4, possibly. Not a huge difference, but it could be that. And it is a very front heavy, like without a strap, it's gonna dive. It's not a problem. I use strap all the time, but it's very, very noticeable that the neck and everything headstock here is very, very much heavier. So that's the first thing that I notice. Otherwise, the frettings are pretty good here. You can kind of feel them a little bit. I think the MB4 had a little bit better smoothness, but it's nothing that's gonna cut me down or anything that. But you, depending on how you grip, you're gonna, you know, you're gonna feel them. So you might, if you want perfect smoothness, you might need to tweak them. That's why, again, if you want a cheap bass and everything, just out for a cheap bass, get the MB4. That's a pre-made, pre-built, higher quality checked than this one. So, you know, you have the neck, the first thing that, you know, that pops into me. The other thing is that, let's go to display capture again. If we bring up this image, you can, if you kind of look at those images to the left and the right, at first glance, it looks like it is the pretty same model, just one is a do-it-yourself model and the other one, you know, are pre-made. But if you look closer, you're gonna notice that the pickup on the left here on the kit actually is more in the P base, more closer to the neck position, and on the pre-made, the built one, it's closer, a little bit closer to the bridge part. Very sneaky. It's very, very sneaky to see that. I was actually, just when I'm like about to order, I'm like, wait, what? Something with the pickup position is a bit different. Even looking here, it might be hard to tell, but it is a bit closer to the end of this, you know, of the volume thing here. And on the other, the MB4, it is closer, more closer to the middle or that position, a little bit closer. it's not a huge deal, but it does change the audio, I feel. This has a little bit more of a clunky bass sound to it, and it could also be the wood combination of the different wood and everything, but the MB4, it has more of a thumpy, the more what you expect, more bitey sound, more of a definition. This is a bit more warmer, a little more the P-bass clunk sound things. So again, something to really consider before getting this kit, that you won't get the sound of the MB4. So yeah, that's another thing that I got to mention here. The quality otherwise is pretty good, the headstock and everything, nice quality. The wood here, nothing that's looked out. The body though had, and that's one of the reasons why this is painted, some of grayish coloration within the wood. I tried to sand it off. It didn't really come up easy, so I didn't, wanna. It could be deep into the wood, right? Some miscoloration there. Otherwise, I would have just added some paint finish, some finish on it, and had the wood finish, shine through. But it didn't look nice. It was quite obvious chunk on the front and on the side here. But these are, made to be polished up. But if you're thinking, oh, well, I like the look of the clean wood, I'm just going to go with that, you might be disappointed because they might get some coloration that is not looking good. Like all wood have some different type of coloration, brownish, yellowish and stuff like that, and that's fine. But this was some black, grayish coloration that just was really not nice, and it was like in spots, so it stuck out. So that's want to point that one out. Next thing to point out is that if you watch my building video, I have problem with this neck here. So you probably should drill this wider so that the screws can just go through the body nice and then just grip straight into the neck. This one grips straight into the body, so you have to kind of keep a weird tight grip here when you first screw it together. And also it didn't feel like it was deep enough drilled into the neck, so the last bit here was really difficult to tighten down. That probably needed to unscrew, make the wider screw holes through the body and deeper into the neck. But I got my best Phillips head screwdriver and I powered through. It is a tight, clean fit here. Sits nice and good, and the curvature of the neck and everything is nice. I have been able to intonate this all right and everything like that. But I want to point that one out. Might be a good idea to check that, especially those. Maybe pre-drill it and measure it up, so you don't start screwing and then it just kind of comes to a grinding halt and you have to like unscrew it and re-drill and something like that. Tuners and everything else was fine here. The nut and everything seems very cheapish, but hey, I think it should be pretty much the MB4 type of quality there. Not top notch, but it's very workable and everything like that. Let's go to the bridge. This might have been the same on the MB4. I haven't watched, I don't know, do I have my review of the MB4 up on my channel? I might have. But this bridge is not a good bridge. So the back, you have this string through here, not string through body, but string through the bridge here to get pass over to get the strings, right? And the lowest one, the E, or in my case the B string here, I have the Ernie Ball Cobalt Flatwound strings. I think they are 0.110, and they have this little purple protective thing on the ball ends. I don't know if you can see, and this did not fit through this string here. The 110 does not fit through it, so I had to remove the kind of string coating. So if you're gonna use thick strings with this, you're probably gonna run into problems. This is probably best with 105 or 110 strings at most, without any like nylon thing here at the ball end, because then you might run into big problems. Yeah, this bridge is not good, and it's the ball ends here are lying and scratching against the wood. Is not nice. I do not like this bridge, but hey, that's a bridge thing, I guess. It's gonna be the same on the MB4 by the looks of it. MB4 is a bit closer to the end here, so it might be that the ball ends drops off nice and doesn't scratch as much, because you have quite a bit of a wood here, and it looks like you have less wood on the MB4. That MB4 is pretty much almost dropping off, and again making the position more further away from the neck and a different sound. But yeah, the bridge 105 or 110 strings maybe maybe you can fit 115, but you need to have no like nylon or a protective thing at the ball end. Other than that, intonation, I'm tuning in this again. This is the Ernie Ball Flatwound Cobalt strings. It goes from 110 down to 1.055, I think. And they fit nice, they intonate nice. There is another problem here that we're gonna show later on here. Well, let's show it now. Let's turn on the volume here. So we have my B string, E, A, D. That sounds really weird, right? And it should do that. So the length from this part here and the bridge on the D string was too long, so I'm reusing my nice Flatwound strings on this bass, and the D string, or G string I guess if you tune it in the normal tuning, did not fit. It was way too long than my previous bass, unfortunately, so I'm gonna have to buy new strings. So this is the original string that comes with the kit, and if you compare it again, this sounds really bad, terrible, almost like a dead string, like shit. And that's probably the thing. That's why I did not want to use even the strings coming with the kit. They should probably just not ship strings with this kit. The do-it-yourself kit like comes with strings and with a cheap cable for connecting it to amplifier. Yes, I think they should just toss those out. Like mention in the kit, buy your own strings, because if you put the original strings that comes with the kit, it's gonna be a terrible experience. Those are shit. Like obviously Flatwounds are not less bright and everything, but this has life to them. And then the original coming with the Harley Benton. Barely any output, and it doesn't sound good. So yeah, there probably won't be any bass videos coming up until I can get a pair of new Ernie Ball Cobalt Flatwound. That unfortunately is around $60 to $80 or euros, so those are pricey. Probably gonna be another month before I can get those. Yeah, but don't use the strings that come with the bass, those sucks ass. So another thing to mention with this kit is the fit of the pit guard is god awful. Really terrible. You need to pretty much, probably at least on mine here, like to make more room, file down all of the sides, every part of it, otherwise it's gonna push down on your pickup and you cannot adjust it as good, which comes to the next problem. This is not good to adjust. You can get pretty decent, low string height and everything. I have a pretty high here to try to adjust everything as good as I will. I might try to tweak it when I change strings to lower the string, the difference, the space between the strings and the pickup a little bit, and to angle it, but you are very limited in this. You have 3 screws and they are just with regular springs. This really would have needed 4 screws to really get this. So the problem is that you're going to get the front coil pretty much being the main coil taking precedence. And I like to have the back coil taking precedence, get more of the thump. And that I can't get it angled. It's not gonna work. Pretty much only those 2 screws raise it up and down, and the other one is just following there. I can't get it to angle. And if I switch strings, I'm probably gonna try to remove it, maybe add some foam on one side, because I wanna get a bit of an angle or something. But yeah, the adjustment of the pickup is not great on this bass, unfortunately. Not at least, when it comes to the angle of the front back here. So no matter what I do, it is the front coil that's gonna make the most, have like a little bit of an extra oomph to the sound. And I would have preferred the back coil to have a little more extra oomph, especially since the pickup is closer to the neck already. So you get this more of a warmer sound here, It still has a nice, interesting bite. Let me try to... There we go. So this is just running through a basic amplification here. I can show it off for you. Oh wow, wait a minute. Oh, troubles. There we go. Oh my god. Well, I'm not gonna redo this video, but okay. Well, that's unfortunate, but now we can see it at least. This is amplitube 5, and this is like just the basic sound. Everything is on full. It is a pretty warm sound. Let's do finger style. So if you hear a little bit of, the distortion, obviously, or overdrive, that is the amplification that I'm using that has a little bit of that. We're gonna switch to a different amplification module in an amplitube. So let me switch back to display capture to, maybe I can properly show this now. Right, so Harley Benton bass guitar kit is what I'm showcasing. Harley Benton MB4 is obviously that one I owned and the closest counterpart. And you can see the specs to the left of the kit compared to the one of the right. Hopefully that's nice to know. A little bit mess up on my part that I didn't get the full display capture going correctly. So the only thing left maybe is to showcase some audio here. So this is flat on the amplification model that I showed. Bass is tuned B to D, and this is the Ernie Cobalt Flatwound. It's a 110 string set, tuned B to D. So this is everything just full on again, just a quick. Gator grip, 2mm maybe. It is a thick sound, definitely, but you don't get that. You can't get that like bitey humbucker Music Man in bridge position bite from this bass. Could be partly strings a little bit older, but it is very, very. I think it's a shame. This pickup should be closer to the bridge, really should be. When you get a bass like this, you want that bitey sound. Here you get a little bit more of the warmer, a little bit more P-bass sound, but it still is a very usable sound. Very usable sound, but it's gonna take some tweaking to get it going really well. And if you turn down the front coil, you will get some single coil hum. Might or might not be audible, but it's there. So this is both the coils. Both coils on. Now it's only the bridge coil. Obviously you get a drop in volume. But you get a little bit more bite, and this is, again, if you would have had that coil and the pickup being pushed back, so you had this being the front coil instead, and you had a bit closer, it would have added that nice extra oomph in my mind. So let's go both coils again. Let's turn down the bridge coil. So we are in single coil mode, only the neck part, the neck row of the coils are active. Both coils in humbucker. It has some beef to it. Single coil mode with the neck coils. But you can hear here, I think, if you go directly to the bridge coils. So when in humbucker mode, I feel that it is the neck coils that are the dominant, and that's why I wanted to angle the pickup, and you can't really do it now, to get more of a bite sound from the bridge row of coils. But yeah, this seems quite different from the MB4 sound. It could be interesting to play, try some songs, try some tweaking of the EQ to see if I can get more of a oomphy bitey sound or not. This is a thicker sound that you might like. You don't get that raw, more like direct bite sound. It could also be a combination, of the wood and the placement here that is just, you get more of the torso P-bass mill pickup sound here. Then you get the traditional Music Man bridge pickup, humbucker pickup sound. have not memorized any like riffs, unfortunately. So I don't know if you can hear it, but it feels like there's a lot of more of the high mids to the top end, like the pick comes through a lot more. This is a 2mm, and that usually doesn't come through in this clanky way, but it does a very clanky way in this one when I play with maybe a bit of a hard playing style, so that it hits the strings, quickly hits the last fret here. But it's definitely much more noticeable than on my previous jazz bass and on my when I had the MB4. Let's show off the tone control. So I cannot show the G string or the G string here, you know, again, because it just sounds like shit, but okay. So this has everything with the maximum of the tone up. Let's just turn it all the way down just to quickly see how it sounds. I'm going to remove that so it's not important for me. I never use a tone control. Removing the tone control could for me add even more brightness and output, so it might be interesting to see how that also sounds. But I think I can equalize off the treble anyway, so it shouldn't be a problem for me. But yeah, so full brightness, full both pickups, everything max. And let's turn it all the way down, the tone control, to see what kind of span you might get. Turn it up again. Turn it down. Up and down. Well, it is usable, the tone control, but it's not any dramatic. So yeah, the tone control isn't really, at least not with the Flatwound strings here, isn't that crazy. It could be more usable if you have the stainless steel, give nice quality strings. But I'm gonna remove that. So, but yeah, it's not a high quality tone with a wide range or anything. Very, like, I don't know, very, very barely audible almost. But let's switch around to another amplification here. First, try the classic switcher. Just add a mid-cut pre-shaping here. Let's see how that sounds. Where the hell did I've just lost my... I had a pick. There we go. It was hiding. Let's just try this. This is just a shape, you know, the classic rock shape on this amplification in YouTube. Not in YouTube, this virtual amplification in amplitube. pretty nice. I miss a little bit of a low end. A little bit of bass is missing to me in my ears. Might be only my ears, who knows? Okay, there I had the tone all the way down, and it takes away a little bit of that strings rattling. So yeah, it has some use case, I guess, the tone, but not really crazy. More of an audible difference here. So that's the no tone control all the way off, and this is all the way on tone control. You can hear a lot of the pick getting through, almost too much of the pick. So if we try 50%. Seems like it's an on-off tone control. So all the way off and 20% on. And all the way off. Yeah, it's an on-off tone control pretty much. That's just 10% open tone control. And then all the way off, 10% down. Let's go around 50 up. Very little difference. Yeah, an on-off tone control pretty much. All right, let's change. I'm gonna change just the different amplification here. Which one do we want to have? Let's try this this one. We need to boost a little bit of volume. Let's turn it down a little bit. There we go. So this is a Gallion-Kruger virtual amplification here. Oh yeah, there's a beefer. I have a little bit of a low mid boost, and that's it on this one, nothing else. I think I want to maybe a little bit bass. Add a little bit of bass. Yeah, now we're talking. Seems like I need a little bit of bass boost on this pickup and this pickup height and everything. It sounds a little bit beefier and nicer. Yeah, now we're talking. That's the region this bass often plays in, right? The more of the heavier riff with a little bit of movement there. yeah, a little bit of bass boost. That's what is really needed. Really needed. I think I showcase a lot of this. I'm probably gonna, it's gonna be another video coming when I get the Serious Parallel mod going, and that's gonna be very interesting because the Serious is going to beef it up even more. The mid's gonna scoop maybe off a little bit of that treble, so it could be actually really fitting to particularly this bass that I feel lacked a little bit of the low end by default here. It had a little bit of a clunky sound to it. Boosting that little bit of bass, and you can drop the treble probably a little bit. So I have low mid and I have bass boosted a little bit, and drop the treble, and high mids is in the default settings. Let's try 1mm pick here. Turn down the volume on that one to slight. There we go. Yeah, I think that's more of a nicer here. Yeah, a little bit of less treble to remove a bit of the clunky sound things. I can still get the sound by when I'm hitting the strings really hard, but not that clunky clunk sound, more of a click-clack, Maiden sound almost. Yeah, much nicer. I can tame this beast, I think. It's not... you should not get this bass unless you exactly know what you're getting you into. That's the thing to really go to. I hope this has been helpful. It's probably way too long as always. Let's just try to do a very super quick summarize here of everything. I'm gonna just do that so I don't get distracted. Let's turn this one down. So, neck width at the nut is incorrect on the Tobman website. It is not 38 millimeters. It is 42, 43, something around that way. The pickup position in this is not to the counterpart MB4, the pre-built one. It is closer to the neck position here. It's gonna affect the sound quality of that. Very front heavy. Seems to be a different quality wood in the body compared to the MB4, maybe, or it could be a combination of the wood and the pickup position, but you get more of the P-bass kind of clonk sound than the traditional Music Man oomph bitey sound on this one. The bridge here, probably don't use thicker than 110, maybe 115 strings. It's probably not gonna fit through the hole, and don't have any nylon on the ball ends. That's gonna be problematic. 105 with just straight steel, stainless steel or Flatwound should probably be really fine. 110, yes, works here for me, but I had to remove the nylon things. 115 might be pushing it, maybe work, but you might have to drill, and a little bit problematic. the fit of the pickguard is shit by default, and it pushes down on the pickup, so you're probably gonna need to widen the pickup hole in the pickguard to really be able to let the pickup float freely there. The amount of adjustability that you can do when it comes to the angle of it is terrible. It pretty much just goes up and down a little bit. You can kind of angle it sideways to get the G or the high strings, you know, a little bit further away from the string than the low string. Other than that, it's very limited adjustability of the pickup. The neck, maybe widen or drill the holes bigger in the body here, part through, so you don't have to screw through the body and into the neck. It should be like the screw should drop through the body and then you'd screw them in place with the neck more correctly. It's just really painful to like line everything correctly up and like get a good fit and that by default here. So I would definitely widen the holes here for the neck plate here. I had some black grayish discolored wood pattern on my base, so it's not like gonna be on the picture super clean look and everything like that. It feels pretty in the mid to a little bit heavy base, not super heavy but a little bit, especially the neck are quite heavy. Fret ends, they are very playable. Depending on how much you move and how you grip it, you might feel them. But overall, it's pretty good, decent quality. I think it's close to the MB4 quality. They might vary from neck to neck, but it's nothing terrible. Tuners are just like the standard Harley Benton stuff. They workable, but you're gonna need to retune them. Maybe not mid-playing, but you know, if you play in the morning and then in the afternoon, you're gonna need to retune, and you know, they hold their tunes for a while, but they're nothing special, not terrible, awful, and not really great. Kind of middle thing here. Nut is some kind of plastic thing here. It works with the 110 strings just barely. Probably when I switch strings, I'm gonna have to file a little bit. So if you don't wanna optimize the nut placement here with the strings and everything, go with 105 strings, maybe 1.100 or 0.105. Should fit absolutely perfect. I can see there is a slight little gap below here on my 1010 string, so to optimize, I need to file just a tiny bit on the edges here to optimize the fit here. So I would prefer that more bases go with a 0 fret kind of thing, and then that you can fit them differently up here. I think that's it for this one. Been fun building, but it also, you know, when I've been thinking, you know, just to end here, I have ideas for like the different nut and bridge kind of situation. I wonder if that works, and how can I patent stuff, because the evolution of the bass has been pretty sad, and guitars also when it comes to just shapes and different bridges and scale lengths and everything. I definitely have some idea for a bridge that would be interesting. I wonder how difficult it would be to try to draw up, maybe take a pattern on one. Because both on the nut and on the bridge, and definitely an idea that don't think I've seen on any bass that would be quite interesting to try. But that's it for this. Do not get this unless you know what you're getting yourself into. You will not save money by getting this one. Just get the MB4 pre-built. Unless you really want to mod and you really want to do paint work and you want to, you know, be tinkering around, this might be a nice little interesting bass to go for. So you don't have to disassemble a bass and stuff like that. But if you just want a good, decent quality bass that is like Music Man inspired, the MB4 is better. It's gonna have, I think, better overall quality control. Definitely good finish and, you know, pretty nice balance. It will come pre-soldered. Everything is pre-assembled, you know, everything just fixed up, strings attached, basic intonation, everything. So go with that, unless you really know that you want this bass. And yeah, it has its flaws, but stay tuned for next video coming that I'm gonna be modding this bass. I'm gonna put in, remove the tone control. It's pretty much a shitty tone control, pretty much on-off feel anyways, and I don't use the tone control, so I'm gonna swap that one to just a switch that is series and parallel mode for the humbucker. And to end this, why not? Why, Harley Benton, are you making weird decisions when it comes to the controls? Why does this bass not just have volume and tone? Who in their right mind is gonna run this bass in single coil mode? Pretty much no one. The only reason that I'm gonna do volume series parallel switch is because again, I don't use the tone control, and it is because it might give me a little bit possibility to focus the bridge coils a little bit more by turning down the volume on the front coils. It will get me hum though, which sucks. And the other reason is because if I would only use a switch and the volume, I would have an empty open hole here that would look terribly ugly. But yeah, really the MB4, the bass, should have only tone and volume, as should this kit. Maybe a series parallel switch or something like that. But that's it. It's really weird to have two volumes and a tone on this type of style, is my personal opinion. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next video coming with audio samples of the switch with the series parallel mode. And leave a like, comment, or whatever you like. And stay tuned for maybe in a month or two I can get new strings and I can start maybe pushing up more bass cover videos. So stay tuned for that. And until then, have a great day and goodbye for now.